Probably one of the questions we most often get asked is, how can I motivate my students? How can I motivate teenagers?
Yeah, and it is a key thing, isn't it? I mean, it's probably the most, well, it is the most important factor in language learning. And would you agree? I mean, it starts with your relationship with students, doesn't it? It's a basic relationship of respect where you show an interest in them, you listen to them, you want to know who they are, and you start with what they can do and what they know, rather than assuming that they don't know anything. That's where motivation starts, isn't it?
I think most good teachers will find out about their students. They will take the time to get to know them, to find out their interests, their hobbies, what their background is, and that's obviously the first step to building, like you say, a good relationship and motivating students and the teacher in the lessons.
Yeah, I think that's right. And also when you get to know your students, you also know their interests and what material they're going to like, because I think also the material that you're using for reading, for listening, for video, it really has to be motivating to get their interest. And also I think to a degree the layout of a book, especially how a lesson is structured, is very important, because that sort of helps build the confidence and motivates the student as they're working through a lesson.
Yeah, I mean a lot of schools have to teach certain topics, or that's given. But I think it's always important to find an interesting angle on a topic. And I think that's something that we always try to do in writing.
And then there's obviously sort of like bringing to class or including in material that you write things that students will recognise as part of their world. So for example, making sure there is at least the possibility to be able to watch video material, the use of images to grab attention, to draw on their imagination.
Yeah, definitely. And isn't there also that whole thing of sort of not just spoon feeding everything, but getting them to work things out for themselves, especially in terms of grammar and.
But it also means if you want to motivate your students, then the level of challenge has to be right. If you do something that's over their heads, it's going to confuse them. If you do something that's too easy, it's going to bore them. So, I mean, teachers know their students. They know the right level of challenge. And there's the question of spoon feeding as well.
Yeah.
That it's a good thing to get students to work out rules, grammar rules, for example. Also, perhaps vocabulary, to personalise their own vocabulary, to learn words that are important for them, and that they think they will need to use.
And as you said, you mentioned personalisation, the idea that they're always going to be, you're always looking for opportunities for them to use the language to express something that's important to them, themselves obviously, but their opinion about something, talking about things they do. So that it's motivating for students to feel that the language they're learning can be used in a way that they want to use it, not just to pass exams or to.
And motivating as well to see that they're actually making progress and learning something, which I think is something we try to do with the progress checks and the reviews in the course anyway.
Yeah, and I think a good teacher will always do that anyway. Review material, check that students have understood before progressing to the next topic, the next bit of grammar, etc. And also giving students the chance to assess themselves with a positive outcome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's always going to be motivating to them if they see that they can actually measure their progress, and like you say, they can see that I've taken on board some new language. I can do something I couldn't do before with the language, or that I've learnt some skills. I mean, I can, next time I read a text like this, I'm going to know how to approach it, and so that could be helpful in their own language even. That must be motivating for them.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what do you think is our checklist then of things to consider for motivating classes?
Starting with the respect, isn't it? I think starting with the respect for the person and for what they do know, and not what they don't know. You're starting with the positive side of what they bring to class.
Yeah, and using material that you know is really going to motivate them, and also using things like video and images that you know they're interested in.
Yeah, but at the same time providing the correct level of challenge, because if the challenge is not right, you won't motivate the students, which also includes not spoon feeding them, but letting them work out things for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And reviewing, regular reviewing to show to them that they're making progress.